Hi guys, and welcome to the Craft Beer channel. Apologies for the fact there hasn't been a video in quite a while, but tonight I'm down at the Prince in North London for a Delacen tap takeover and meet the brewer with the man of Ireland himself. So there's an interview with him coming soon to the channel, but I wanted to do a video this week, A, because it's been 3 weeks, and B, because something quite spectacular happened about 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys and get your views. So the Brewers Association, which is a not-for-profit organisation that champions craft brewers in the US and does more than just sort of promote them. It also helps them with export, it helps them with technical advice, it runs conferences and all this kind of stuff. They've come out with a logo, which is coming up here. And this logo is supposed to signify a truly independent brewery, a true craft brewery. Because they're worried, I guess, that with all the brands being bought out at the moment, or all the brands being produced by the big beer companies, it's getting harder and harder to tell what is truly independent. Now, the logo itself has come in for some flack because it's not the most pretty thing. And if you look at, some of the beautiful, beautiful labels, like the stuff being done by Grimm and by Treehouse and by Trillium, I love their labels, or even by like guys like McKellar. Putting something as corporate and as ill thought out as that is controversial. And it also means like all these breweries have to replate their printing, so that's going to cost huge, huge amounts of money, particularly if you're one of these breweries that has a lot of core beers. So lots of the breweries, I don't know, half of them have said like they don't want this and they probably don't really need it either. Well, I wanted to get your view. Would you buy a can or a bottle if it had that logo on? Is that something reassuring to you? Are you looking for those marks of independence? And if you're not, why not? So that's the first question. Does it matter to you? The second question comes from the fact that it definitely seems to have mattered to AB InBev, who, in a moment of madness, I don't know, or maybe it was carefully planned, they came out with a video response to this logo, which involved wheeling in all of the breweries that they've bought out of late. So there were 10 Barrel, Elysian, Devil's Backbone, and Wicked Weed, of course, and got those founders, the founders of those breweries, to talk about why not only is it a bad idea, but also quite an offensive idea to them. So you can watch the video, there's a link below, and hopefully you'll watch it open-mouthed like I did. The first issue I had with it is the fact that I don't particularly like 5 new-made millionaires telling me how to buy beer ethically when they are quite literally taking steps to destroy the beer industry by joining a company famous for its illegal practices and its anti-competition moves. But the more interesting thing that they do is they're trying to change the conversation. They're trying to change it from craft versus macro to all beer versus wine and spirits. Now, they're saying that wine and spirit producers are sat there laughing at craft beer or big beer as they fight in amongst themselves. But I wasn't aware that they were the enemy. I thought that the craft beer movement was to do with getting choice back on the bar. And if there's great wine, great spirits and great beer all competing, all that's going to do is raise the game. And yet AB InBev and their supposed craft brewers are saying, no, actually we don't want choice, we just want beer in every bar. So they're trying to shift this conversation across so they don't seem like the bad guys. And I'm pretty sure that, 6 months ago when none of these breweries had been bought out, they wouldn't have been talking about beer that way. They wouldn't have been talking about wine and spirits as the great threat. And all this talk about division is also really galling because these are the guys that switched sides. These are the guys that said there is a division and I'm jumping to the winning team. And then they make a video that's smack-talking craft? Isn't that sowing more division than being a craft brewer, championing choice, championing small business and trying to raise the level and the quality of everything, from the food to the beer to the wine to the spirits? So the whole video is so crushingly, it just made me so angry, and it looks so pathetic on their part that I had to start wondering, why on earth would they make it? Like, even if it was a spur of the moment idea, it would have had to have gone through all these checks. Even once it was shot, somebody would have had to have approved it. So somebody along the line thinks that it's doing good. Is it that they think that the conversation... Is it that they think that they can bring the conversation down to playground tactics so that when any craft brewer talks about it, people think they're just being petty? Or is it that they think that getting people like me who have a channel or a blog to talk about it means that that's good marketing for them and for their beers? So I'd love to know your thoughts about whether the seal is going to work and whether you'd be looking for that, and also whether AB InBev's response to it is going to work for you or for anyone you know, or also what you think their game really is, because I am absolutely baffled as to how that got through what must be endless marketing meetings. So hopefully normal service will be resumed soon. Hopefully we'll have lots and lots more videos to come. We've definitely got some very exciting projects, some collab brewings, some nice interviews, and something special coming off the back of the work we've done with Byron. So watch out for all of that. And in the meantime, keep drinking great beer.